All right, good day and welcome to the Virtual Youth Empowerment Conference. My name is Ola Peters Awomolo. I'll be speaking to you on how today's market leaders are increasing revenue, productivity, and customers' satisfaction. Three things we will be looking at: how today's market leaders are increasing revenue, increasing productivity, and customers' satisfaction. Important to know first and foremost is that the three things we have mentioned, revenue, productivity, and satisfaction, all revolves around one person, which is the customers. Revenues will be generated from the customers. Productivity is customers focused, and satisfaction ultimately is about the customers, because we believe that if the customers are satisfied, the people in business ultimately too will be satisfied. And I'm sure that's why we have that popular business term that says that customers are always they are the king, they are always right. Okay, so this meeting, this conference is for young people who are who need to be raised as kingdom financiers, financial giants in the kingdom of God. And I think all of the topics have been carefully selected, and I trust God that it will be a whole lot of blessing to us as we spend some time to look at the things we're going to share today. I'm going to take my own study from the perspective of value proposition and customers' expectation. I want to first mention something in that line. I will not be using too much of big grammar so that we can just put our hands straight into the understanding of this study. Value proposition, customers' expectation. By definition, value proposition is a business or a marketing statement that a company uses in summarizing why a customer should buy its product. A statement that explains why a customer would need to buy this product. You need to buy this product because of this value that this product is going to give to you by the use of it. It's not for the customer to be cracking his head and say, okay, what do I really think? No, before he cracks his head, it's expected that the business guy should have, with one statement, explain what this product is about to give to you, the value that this product is conveying. It is a statement to convince a potential consumer that one particular product or service will add more value or better value than a similar offerings. Okay, so it must be very easy to understand so that the customer would, can key into it and make a decision of what he wants to do, the benefits, the reason why you should go ahead and partake in this product. Okay, so that clearly tells us that every customer is just looking for value. Is looking for, why should I buy this thing? Even family members who are customers, when you meet them, they might have the sentiment that they want to patronize you, but ultimately they are asking themselves, but why do we need to buy this product? So that must be very, very clear. Okay, so I would go back to looking at what we are talking about, which is increasing revenue, productivity, and customers' satisfaction. And let us focus our study on the customers, because ultimately they are the one who pay. They are the one who patronize. They have what we want to get, which is the money from them. We have what we believe they need, which is the product that we want to offer. I can say this for free. market leaders of today increase their revenue by lowering their cost. Underline that, get that. That will be the basis of our study, but that is just the gimmick. They increase their revenue, basically, ultimately, in the long run, by lowering their cost. That is the secret. That is the secret. What the customer pays for in every product that you offer, in every commodity that you want to push out. But like you know that the issue is not even about production generally when people are in business. The issue is about what has been produced, can it be sold? You can be in your home, in your room, and produce 100 buckets of paints. You can go for a training and tell you how you can produce cream, produce this, produce that, and you're excited about it. Good. So you can take money from your uncle and produce. That's cool. But that's not all. You've produced from your uncle, from the money you borrowed from your uncle as a gift. The money is not in your hand. There are 100 buckets of paints in your room. You can't eat them. So ultimately you need those things to turn out to be money, to be cash, so that you can be sustained. So ultimately that's what you want. So we're saying, how do market leaders of these days, how do they increase revenue? Basically by lowering their cost. There is no increase of revenue. I'm not talking about revenue, I'm talking about increasing it. There is no increase of revenue except you're ready and you are consciously lowering your cost. Now I'm going to first give you a case to let you see that there is no ego, there is no corporate ego or business ego in having an exorbitantly high price of goods and say, no, my own goods is 1,000 naira, and you just brag about the fact that it's 1,000 naira. It's 1,000 naira remains in your books, it remains in your house, nothing is happening. The other guy over there is selling his own for 800 naira and is turning over the stock. So there's no bragging about it. If you want to increase revenue, you have to lower cost. Now, who pays? What does your customer pay for? Your customer pays for two things. Number one, he pays for cost and your profit. Now, in these two indices, cost and profit, only one belongs to you. In cost and profit that your customers will pay for, only one belongs to you. And the only one that belongs to you is the profit, which is called the margin. If you sell these goods this product for 1 million naira, it's possible that your margin is not just more than 75,000 naira or 100,000 naira. So the cost of it, of assembling it, of importing it, and everything is about 900,000 naira. So the 1 million sounds good, but what belongs to you is 100,000 naira. So simply put, it will be unwise to lose what belongs to you because of the inefficient management of what is not yours. The cost is not yours. It's not coming to your profit, to your pocket as a profit. So it will be too bad to lose that 100,000, which is the profit, because of an inefficient management of what is not mine, which is the cost. What puts many companies off business generally is not the cap, is not the margin. The cap, the profit is the margin. This is the cost. This is the margin, the cap on it. So what puts our people out of business, companies out of business, small scale, companies, even big ones out of business, generally is the cost. Cost of operation, finance cost, this cost, that cost. Margin has never put people out of business. It is the real body, which is the cost. Margin is just a cap. So if there's a place to put focus on, is on the cost, because that is what engineers what becomes of the company. It's important for us to know that cost is not a friend. is not a friend. I know people who brag and say, you know how much I got that my car, how much I got that my shirt is 7,000. You can brag about cost if it is for your personal consumption. You can brag about it. You can buy a wristwatch that you could get somewhere for 15,000 and brag that you got it for 40,000. If you have some level of satisfaction in that, that's cool, and nobody should harass you for that. Enjoy that feeling. But for business, cost is not a friend. But we need to embrace it to make a friend, which is the profit. The profit is the friend, is revenue. We want to increase it. So we can't but embrace this thing that is not a friend, which is the cost, in order to make a friend. Therefore, it should be avoided as much as possible, except we can have an intrinsic value that it brings to the table. Except we can say, okay, this is the value, this is what this cost is justifying, this is what is bringing on the table, is not my friend. I can avoid it as much as I can, except it's convincing me that this is the value that I can see it bring to the table. So I don't like its face, but I like what it offers. I don't like it hanging around me, but I can't do without it because I need to make a friend, which is to make the margin. So it should be avoided as much as you can, deliberately avoided, and we're going to look at things that we can engage in to work on that. So we have established that the way to it is to reduce cost. That is the way to increase revenue. Cost is very important, but it's not a friend. And your customers pay for the cost, and they pay for the margin. You get it? They pay for the cost, they pay for the margin, and you are the one representing the two. Unfortunately, the cost doesn't go to you, but you are the one who's going to defend it. You are the one who's going to explain it. Somebody has taken the cost money and he has gone. He is excited about it. It is now you that will be defending and explaining what I would have said that what you should be defending is your margin, is what belongs to you. But the way it's structured, you have to defend it. Now, we're not talking about sales. I'm not talking about sales. There are other lecturers, presenters that will talk about how you can drive. I'm talking how you can increase revenue. What comes to my own mind is that if you want to increase your revenue, you need to work on your cost. Deliberately work on your cost. Okay, so if what belongs to us is our margin, then we cannot pride ourselves to cost. We rather control it to stay in business and keep the margin flowing. You can't pride yourself to cost. Control it, be deliberate about it, be intentional. Some of you will need to engage some other artisans to work for you. Engage some suppliers to work for you. The supplier is not minding your customers. So he's focused on what he wants to offer you and his price and all that. You are mindful of your customer. So part of what we are looking at, which is customer satisfaction. That satisfaction does not start the day you started selling. It started when you were negotiating with suppliers and negotiating the cost to that product you want to sell. You are customers focused, knowing that how can I go and sell this type of thing to my customer with this price. You started that journey early, because you know that ultimately your own margin is maybe just 10% or 20%. You are so sure that you're going to get that, but in satisfying them, you also need to start that journey long ago when you were negotiating with the suppliers, when you were looking at what is needful and what is not needful, when you are looking at alternatives to be used. You are consciously. This customer satisfaction is not a make-believe. The make-believe will not last. It will not sustain us in the long run. The make-believe will not. So it is not smiling. It's not smiling. Customers don't mind if you get deeper. If you get deeper, it's not your smile. Your smile might be good, but if you get deeper, they want to look at what is coming out of their pocket. If they see value in what you are giving, and it's affordable, and it's of quality, and it's not draining their pocket, they will approach you. They'll come to you. They'll come and come and come again. Okay, so knowing that we live in the world of oratory, and I need to say this very clearly, where some people can talk down, you can talk and quickly becloud potential customers. in many words. You can just talk and sack them and all that. That's for those who choose to be clouded up, and you can influence their decision. It has been proven clearly, like I said a few minutes ago, that only lasts in the short run. It's not sustainable. You can't do it. If you bamboozle them, you bamboozle them for once. So you must have a sustainable approach. And one of the sustainable approach to increasing revenue is to reduce cost. You must be deliberate about it. Deliberate about cost reduction for your business. In the long run, even if you bamboozle them in the short run, in the long run they will catch up with you, and they will, even if they made a decision in the first time, they will check out their decision, the quality of their decision, look at it in retrospect, and consider if it was the best decision. It's not about the customer showing up one day. We want him to show up more often and in being satisfied and making a referral to other people to come and patronize us. Okay, so therefore the reality is this: customers will keep making decisions over and over again on our products and offerings. Each decisions precluding the other is mutually exclusive of others. He made a decision today, he will make another one tomorrow. What that he came yesterday does not mean it's going to come tomorrow. So what has happened? Is he satisfied? Is your product of a good quality? Is your product, has it attracted only the needful cost? In fact, the cost that could mess up your product could be the cost of transportation. It could be the freight. Yes, you brought it from Dubai, you brought it from UK, you brought it from Hong Kong, brought it from anywhere. It could be the freight that messed it up and made the price so good. Yes, its quality is good, but the landing cost is way off. So, and who bears it? It's not you that is bearing it. You are passing it over. So you are passing the cost of your inefficiency, the cost of not being able to negotiate well, the cost of your perhaps irrational, not too deep decisions, and all manner of those things. You are passing it over to someone who was not part of those processes, was not part of those decisions. You are passing it over to him. He's not happy about it. If you got through the first time, I dare you, you may not be able to get through the second time. So you could make some big profits in the short run, and you even go and make some forecast, and you enter into big time, thinking that those customers are still there. They're already grown in at home because they got back home and realized that, come on, I shouldn't have spent as much as this on this product. Why am I going the customer's expectations route? Is because all costs are meant to be recouped in business with an additional margin. All determining the price of goods are paid for by the customers. If all these are paid for by the customers, we should be mindful of what we send to them, so that we can have their patronage continuously and increase our revenue. Okay. Customers don't want to pay for your wastages in the company's processes. Part of the cost that should be managed is the cost of wastages. You need to look at what you are doing. They have paid. They want to pay for labor. They want to pay for the product, but they don't want to pay for wastages that your own system could not bring out. Customers' purchasing power, generally in the economy now, is drastically affected due to the economic situations. Hence, even if they can afford to pay your cost, they don't want to add wastages. I'm deliberately emphasizing on this so that it works in our subconsciousness and consciousness that, see, wastages must be out of this equation. Your revenue, which is the selling price, less any other discount that you decided to give. If you have a revenue of 10 naira because you sold the product, the cost could be 7 naira, so your margin is 3 naira. So your margin is 3 naira. Okay. If you are able to manage your cost and you sell at 10 naira, and you're able to sell, and the cost was 5 naira, you have a margin of 5 naira. There is a possibility, high tendency, that that business will grow, it will be sustained. Even your margin has now increased, not because you sold more, but because you've been able to reduce the cost. You've created more value for people and say, see, in fact, let me break it down more. You may not now need to sell at that 10 naira. You can now discount and sell at 9 naira. Because you have been able to secure your cost to 5 naira. You've now sold at 9 naira, cheaper than what other people sell out there. And so there will be more patronage because your things are good and but they are affordable, not because they are cheap and they are inferior. But you've been able to, in sustaining quality product, you've been able to reduce cost. Look at loopholes. Why should I? Why? This is the understanding. Why should I make you supplier happy? Make you supplier happy. You are excited that you've eat it, and you left me with the decision to go and face my own customer, and they are talking to me, and so I'm not concerned about you, supplier. I should look at how I can drive down the cost and drive it down so that I don't pass that inefficiency over to the supplier. Okay, so welcome back. I just mentioned a few minutes ago that the reality of the time that we have now is that customers' purchasing power has been drastically affected, because of all that is happening in our economy. So in the midst of this his purchasing power issue, he still wants quality. Yes, he still wants quality. He still wants something that he's proud of and say, yeah, this is a good buy. So you're left to ensuring that he gets that quality, but at an affordable price. He doesn't want to partake in your wastage. So cost control therefore seeks to attend to the cost of poor quality. You want to attend to the cost of poor quality. You want to take it out and be sure that the only cost that is retained is the cost that has value. I mean, we just keep saying this over and over and over and over. I'm sure you must have heard people lately. In fact, this issue of value, it could be confusing. Which one is value? Take the product and let us go. Which one is value? But value is, what is this product bringing to me? What is it bringing to me? Why should I use it? Why not this? Why not this other one? What is it bringing? Why should I pay for it? So that's very important. So we said that the economic power of people has really reduced. So it's not your comfort. You just need to help out and think of what can be done. Okay. Customers also keep making decisions over and over. So as a company, you want those decisions to be in your favor. In your favor. Now remember that you as a business guy, you can sell anything. You can sell anything, but customers don't buy anything. They only buy what gives them value. They don't buy anything. So that you have produced it is on your store, is on your table, cool, but they don't buy anything. If you look at this, example, this the Uber transport thing that just came to Nigeria, is all over some other nations of the world, is in London, America, and of course we know they have some issues in some other part of the world. But if you look at the whole concept, the concept has been very profound. The concept has to do with efficiency, cost reduction, and customers' satisfaction. It's so real and so loud that an average person will not mind to drop his car home and take Uber or take any of those. Okay, we have Taxify too, and take it. If you look at the cost of, let me analyze it. If you have a car, you are going to maintain the car. If you work on the mainland in Nigeria, we have the mainland, we have the island. If you work on the island, you might use up to 10 liters or 15 liters fuel to go to your place of work. That's about 1,500 or 2,500 per day. There's a wear and tear on your vehicle. there's you drive it yourself, so there's a cost to that. And if you add all that together, you're actually spending like maybe like 4,000 per day, or much more, maybe like 6,000 per day, because you're the one driving. If you employ the driver, you're going to pay the driver, you're going to pay a salary, you know. So, but they came and did their own work well. So you're going to a 20 kilometer distance, 25, 20, you're paying 1,006. You sat at the back, the driver drives you, you find AC chilling, you get to your destination, you highlight. You look at it, you just, is it because the mind of people is calculating? He has calculated, okay, 1,005, 2,002, is it fine? What? But he looks at it very well and says, yeah, cool, and he's making it. So that there's a value that they are offering to us. I say, see, you are not going to drive yourself. We're going to be a driver at a price that is comparatively economical. You're not maintaining the vehicle. At the comfort of your house, you make the request and we come. You know, so he explains. Anybody who sees that, you know, just taking that as an example, gets a bit excited about it, all things being equal. So let's go straight to the real thing. Then how do you reduce your cost? Number one, you can substitute lower cost materials where possible. You know, you can substitute a lower cost material where it is possible. Products can usually be manufactured utilizing a variety of different materials depending on the marketplace requirement and the practices of the manufacturers. Where it's practicable, you can substitute lower cost materials, not inferior, lower cost materials. However, where this is not practicable for the sake of quality, you must be able to communicate clearly the value added of your choice of material with its premium. Why are we using this? You just say, no, this is the price, and no, that's the price. What do you mean? This is the price, that's the price. No, it doesn't work that way. You must be able to understand and justify and clearly communicate your choice of material for that product and why the price seems to be on this side of the equation. Okay, good. So you can substitute lower cost materials where possible. Okay, number two, you can leverage on suppliers. In many cases, if you make more research, alternative suppliers of small products, of varying products will turn up. Google, check, ask, research, they will come up at featuring different offers. So you don't just get stuck. In fact, you can be stuck. So leverage on suppliers. Look at what look at the range of alternatives that are available for you. In many cases, you can determine whether there are any different features this supplier is giving that is different from the features the other supplier is giving. You know, to have a faster delivery time or favorable financing at a slighter higher price. If not, you can purchase from the supplier offering the product at the lowest cost. You look at the terms of each supplier. Someone is offering at a lower cost. What is the time of his delivery? Someone is offering at an higher cost. What are the times of his delivery? Leverage on suppliers. There are many people. There is no monopoly. That you have not find the other person selling does not mean is the only. There is no monopoly. Just if I know that I've not seen it, but I know you are not the only one. Let nobody tell you, hey, you can't get it anywhere. Those are trash. You can get it many ways, many, not any. So reach out and you'll be able to get more options concerning that product. And number three, you have to negotiate and negotiate and negotiate. The level of your profit depends on your ability to receive the highest possible price for your products and pay the lowest possible price to your suppliers and vendors. Every participant in the supply chain is looking for business and will take unusual, even extraordinary steps to make or save a sale. You must know this. The same way you are trying to make a sale to a customer, the supplier is trying to make a sale to you. So you must take advantage. Someone is going to beat down your price in the market. Is going to be the king. So you also need to be the king to the supplier. If you understand the concept of the king, you know, in this discussion, ask for a discount every time. Keep asking for a discount. And if you get to the peak, change your supplier. Look for someone else. Don't get stuck somewhere and the whole thing appears as if without that vendor you cannot move on. You know, so you negotiate very well so that you have a better deal over that transaction. You reduce waste. You reduce waste. You buy what is needed, not potential. You know, there's this concept that is used by the Toyota Incorporation. Is called the just in time. You know, is a concept that says it requires the suppliers should come and make frequent deliveries as many times such goods are needed, such products, such inventories are needed. You know, not that we are stocking it and just priding that we have a stock full of those things. No, when it's needed, just in time when it's needed, they order for the supply, it brings it, and they roll it. So there's no cost of inventory or holding cost of holding things around. Of course, there are none of the systems, both the one I mentioned and many other systems that has 100%, you know, just perfect by itself. They have their pros, they have their cons, but you weigh it and say, I mean, you have a limited resources. Why should you tie it down somewhere? There's a cost for what is even tied down. Even the person staying in the store to keep watch over it is a cost. If you have nothing to be watched over, if it's only two, nothing to be watched over, you may not have cost of holding such stock and the cost of securing that cost. So you need to buy what is needed and not potential. You can also offer quick payment for low prices, you know, to negotiate. Okay, if you can give me at this price, I'm going to pay you tomorrow. That's if your business can accommodate that. You can offer, you know, quick payments for low prices. Inform your suppliers that you are willing to consider cash purchases in return for low prices if your operation is financially capable of holding the inventory during that time. You can also negotiate a long-term supply agreement. You know, if you have a capital, you can get a trusted, well, I don't want to use the word trusted. You can get a supplier, a known supplier that has is stand in that market, and say, okay, this is what I'm bringing, but I want to get goods, you know, over and above this value. You know, you can even get that. That sounds like a credit time. I'm going to bring this 500,000, but I would like to take goods worth 700,000. You may not get that deal at the first time, but you are already not get that deal at the first time, but at your approaching that supplier, you are saying that I'm negotiating for the future. I'm doing this 500,000 business with you or 200,000 business with you. You come again, you stick to him, you do another one, and next one they say I'm going to have a credit term so that I can take much more than I can pay for within a period. So that's one way. The other way is to negotiate a long-term supply agreement where needful, so you can fix the price. You have gotten the price. We are fixing this price, you know, for this period of time, so you can get stuck with a good deal and extend the timing thereof for your favor. That you need to be careful to be sure that there are no possibility of price crash in the nearest future. Okay, so more of what I have shared with you today now is about revenue increase, and I'm looking at it from the perspective of cost control. Very key. You can't pride in cost. You need to manage cost. You need to kick away wastages, because ultimately it is not even you that is paying for it, it is your customer that is paying for it. If you get those two things in line, your customers will be happy, they'll be satisfied, you will increase revenue. You can increasing productivity is a function of the sales that you can drive, the sales that you can drive and actualize. If you increase your productivity and there is no sales, you will crash, because you have what is produced, but you can turn it over to cash. So ultimately, they are tied together. They are tied together. They are tied together. They are tied together. You want to increase your revenue, you must be deliberate about cost. You must be deliberate about cost, and because you are transferring it over to the customer. I think my time is up for this session. I hope that you were a bit enlightened about this. Other sessions will be coming up, and let's put all that we've learned in this virtual youth empowerment conference, and we trust God that it will position us for a good journey in 2018. There are people out there that want to partake in what you sell, but you need to know how to get them in and believe in what you're doing. I want to thank you for listening. The Lord bless you. Thank you.